All right, hello everybody. My name is Teresa Chan and I am here as the Assistant Dean for the Program for Faculty Development. Welcome again to our webinar series on different topics. Tonight is kind of a part of a new series we'll be thinking of doing called the Scholarly Secrets series. What we're hoping to do is kind of peel back the behind the scenes of some of the processes people use to conduct scholarship, and so to help people with their scholarly practice and up their game. So tonight we're going to be talking about collaborative writing, and some of you may kind of think of writing traditionally as a little bit of a lonely art. I think a lot of people kind of, I've seen Twitter, people complain about writing and the process of writing and how it can be very lonely. And tonight we'd like to flip it around a little bit and maybe challenge that paradigm, because now with technology, we have a way of connecting people in a way that wasn't available before. And so it's really exciting to think about how we can rethink the format of how we write. Because back in the day, maybe if you were Albert Einstein and his wife, you know, like you might have someone staring across the table with you on a candle lit night, helping you transcribe different scribblings that you had. And maybe a couple of generations ago, there might be someone who was more in a administrative secretarial support work, helping you type out your manuscript and mailing it around to your collaborators. With the digital age came about the idea that we all had our computers, and so we're emailing copies of Word docs around. And a lot of the traditions that formed in the days when we had to write serially rather than in parallel are still with us. And so there's a lot of rituals still around, you know, like the burden of being a first author is often assumed that you're going to draft that first draft of the manuscript and then email it around to everyone. And a couple of years ago, using Google Docs and with the help of my colleagues, some of whom are on the panel today, I realized I didn't have to do that anymore, and that writing didn't have to be such a lonely experience anymore. And so wanted to definitely kind of put my 2 cents in. So I'm going to pivot over to introduce Dr. Yusuf Yilmaz. Dr. Yilmaz is a postdoctoral fellow here at the McMaster Education Research Innovation and Theory Unit, MERIT for short, and he's working with me in the Program for Faculty Development as a cross-appointed kind of fellow. He's been instrumental in kind of helping us rethink how we do stuff in the digital now, and Yusuf is here to help us with thinking about how we can change faculty development going forward in the future. And so I'll have Yusuf kind of tell us a little bit more about his background, because he's got a very unique background, something that a lot of us probably haven't thought of as a background. So, and Yusuf has his PhD all the way from Turkey and has come to study post-PhD with us here at McMaster. So, all right, Yusuf, there you go. You're on the spotlight now. So if you want to tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Chen. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this live session with us tonight. I'm Yusuf. I'm from Turkey. I have a PhD in computer education and instructional technology, and I have been working in the medical education field almost 10 years now. So I'm kind of like integrating new technology to medical education to just increase integrate different environments to medical education, which is also the faculty development part. Without we are knowing the technology, we cannot implement it to our education or teaching activities. So, and this is also applies for our scholarly practice as well. So tonight we are gonna discuss about some technical sides as well as some other sides of collaborative writing. So let me share my screen with you. And then, so Dr. Chan defined the problem situation here. Like we have different technological glitches using like different softwares. So we are kind of like improve this kind of collaborative writing through the Google Docs. Now Office 365 also supports kind of like collaborative writing things, but the lag is quite long. So when you type something, you cannot see the others are instantly. So this kind of like the best tool at the market, freely available to everyone.
So Google Drive is what you're suggesting?
Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets, like Google provides several products at the moment. It's all included to Google Drive product. So I'm gonna start like to introduce the Google Drive for a couple of minutes, and then I'll move to Google Docs part. So whatever you create a document in your Google account, and they will be hosted in this place like drive.google.com. So whenever you want to reach this place, so this is the URL that you can visit. So drive.google.com is gonna be the like entrance point. So here you will be facing like different interface depending on your situation, because you may have like different files on your drive, and so you may find different interfaces, but the basics are here is this button. Like when you click on the new button, you will be giving like different options. So whatever you want to create, it's going to be here. Like these are the most used ones. So you can create a folder in your Google Drive. It's kind of like the same thing on your computer, like when you want to create a folder to host different files in it. So it's kind of similar. So if you want to upload something here, you can drag and drop to this area, or you can just like select from here, like file upload menu. And if you want to create a Google Docs here, you will just click here, and then it's gonna create a blank Google Docs in your drive. So before going further, I wanna tell you something. There is no save button in Google Drive. So whatever you type here, it's gonna be saved automatically. And there will be no losing any kind of file or something, because when you work on your computer, if you don't save it, and if you accidentally click and go to like the shutdown with the electricity or crash your computer, everything is gone. Like Microsoft Word kind of provides you like 15 minutes backups, but it's not enough sometimes. So you may not retrieve this kind of documents, but Google Docs is doing this seamlessly. So what I'm gonna show you tonight is some template that we are gonna work on. So I would like to invite you, all of you, to this paper so that we can start typing together. So if you wanna do this on your own, so I'm gonna show you a shortcut, like how you're gonna do this in Google Drive. So you will be having some feature is called share. So when you have it Google Docs or Google Drive files, any kind of thing, you will see a share button at the right top corner. So when you click here, so you will have like different options to share the document. So the first one, you may type the emails of whoever you want to invite, or you can get a link, but this link is going to be restricted for different permissions. So if you want to click here and copy the link, this file be restricted to only people will be accessing and do nothing on it. Just they will be able to read it. So when you choose here, like give the different permissions, like commenter permission. So if you know the track changes on Microsoft Word, it's kind of like that. So if you want to give the commenter permission to someone, they will be only just track changes, editing permission on the Google Docs. But if I give you the editing options, so you will be accessing this document, and then you will be editing altogether. So I'm gonna post this link to the chat box, and please click on it to join me here on the Google Docs.
Okay.
So when you enter here, you will see like there are different anonymous people are joining now. So you will also have the ability to share this document by email, and that time you will be able to see their names. For example, I'm gonna share this document with Dr. Chan and Mike and Mary, and I'm going to send them to shared link, so they will be able to access this document with their name. So if you wanna refresh on the paper, you will be seeing like different images here and different kinds of accesses here. So when you see like here, for example, Mary and Mike has been accessed here. And also we are also seeing the anonymous people. As you can see, everybody can type and everybody write something on it. And I want you to do this now, like type something, mess up with the document, and do whatever you want. So just explore Google Docs and then get some familiarity with these buttons, which I will introduce you in a bit. So this is like the title of the paper. So this is kind of the template that I developed this before. So you will have a chance to develop this kind of template on your Google Docs as well.
And so Yusuf, when you develop a template, I assume what you do is you like share a new copy. You make a copy each time you want to start a new paper?
Yes. Yes. So if you want to copy a document, so we will have like different options here. So copying is a document is kind of not the same tradition on your computer. So if you go to the file menu and click make copy, this will ask you like, where do you want to copy this file? So if you want to try this and create on your own template from this template, you can do this. It's totally fine. So it will be asking the name. It will be asking the pathway on your drive so that you can create like different folders in it. And then you can put this document. And when you click on OK, it will gonna open another tab and you will see brand new document on your drive without sharing with anyone. So this is the current state of the document you will copy. And when you copy it, so this is another file that there's no connection in between.
So that would be basically like saving as on a normal Word doc.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Oh, I was going to just highlight one thing that you said earlier as well. You had said that it automatically saves, but you have to be linked up, like you have to be connected to the cloud. So there's that little cloud button that I see there. That right now is active, but you and I have had some problems recently where I'm working on an offline version, and so that won't be saved, right?
That won't be saved to your cloud, but it will be saved to your browser.
And then so until it connects again, it won't update, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes. And when it's connect, it's gonna update automatically. So this is also another great feature. So you will be able to use Google Docs in offline mode, and then you will update them when you connect to the internet. Yeah. Thank you for these are great questions, Dr. Chan.
So you don't own anything, Google owns you. So
it's on their servers, yes, unless it's a proprietary. So with the med school here at our university, you can get a med portal account, and that's actually owned by the university and hosted here on Canadian servers, I believe.
Yeah. But you have also another option to use download option. Like, so if you want to download this file as is, so you can choose like Microsoft document, or you can also like convert this document as PDF. So it will be downloaded to your computer, and you will be having the same options like as you do before. So you can also have the backups from here anytime you want.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So sometimes, as you can see, like you may mess up with the paper and you want to see what's happening or what happened to your document before. So there's another great feature here. It's called version history. So when you go to the version history, you will see like two options here. I want you to jump to see version history here. And this is gonna open up different time frames on your document. For example, I created this document just before the workshop started at 6:18 p.m. And then I saved a name copy and I give the name to Google Docs Collaborative Writing Template. So this is the version that you, before you enter this document. And this is the changes that you've done here. Like I will be able to see like who made the changes here and what are the changes here. Like it's gonna be highlighting everything. and whoever done these changes, so it's going to be here. So for example, Mary's changed this line of table, and Mike changed this line of table. So you will be knowing that what happened to your document. So whenever you want to convert to this document to like different version, so you will have an option to choose which version you want to have, and then click restore this version, and you will convert the document to previous version. So you will see this kind of thing will be helpful if you want to go different versions, because what we do normally, we create multiple files, like think about like working on a manuscript, and then you are creating a file and you are sending somebody and you are putting another final version, like this is the final version kind of appendix to or suffix to your file name. So you are trying to keep the tracks of the document, but this way you will have only one single paper, which is the updated version. Whoever make the changes is going to be updated in the background. So this is kind of cool version. So when you visit the version history again, you will see like this is the current version and restored from this version. So this is kind of like keeping the changes. And if you want to revert back to the changes that we are doing here, so you will have the access to previous version as well. So you will make a copy of this. So you will have option like make a copy from here. So you will have another save as copy on this file.
And this doesn't need necessarily a Google account. It can be, suppose I need to invite somebody and to collaborate, then they can have a McMaster address, and they don't necessarily need Google address, Gmail address.
So you have two options here. You can share with their email, or you can also share the link that it doesn't require like Gmail. It doesn't require to be logged in to any server or anywhere. They will just visit this page and then they will start writing as anonymous person. So this is
the person who's running the Google Doc though, that owns it, probably does need an account though. So you can't be an anonymous gopher and be able to start an account. Start the document like Yusuf is pointing out. You kind of have to have a Google account to have the drive and have access to documents, but other collaborators do not have to have a Google account.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
And Google is also free. It gives you like 15 gigabytes storage field on Google Drive when you start a new account. So this is kind of like way much enough to save different parts. So I will just introduce some styling options here. So if you want to use like this toolbar here, so please join me. Let's move a little bit to paper. So you will have like different options. Like you can change the font style here, like increase the font size and then make them bold, italic, like underlined, different colors or different highlighted version. So you will have different styling options like left alignment, right alignment, and I want you to play with these bars here and to get some experience with it, because this is quite similar to Microsoft Word or any other text styling document on the internet you will see on these days.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty similar, right? Mm-hmm.
And if you have questions, let me know if you just play with these ones.
Yeah, I think the main thing is the lack of save option, but the version history is your save, I guess, if you wanted to save a version each day. And I think the other thing would be, it's a lot of the same hotkeys. So if you want to Command C, Command V, I guess Control, copy, Command V is paste. Command Z or Control Z is undo. So a lot of the same hotkeys you would use in Microsoft Word as well, or any other Pages or any other software that you use for word processing.
Mm-hmm. So while you are working on this side, you may notice that there's a left sidebar over here, which is kind of like a table of contents bar. So this allows you to jump into the paper, which is also the heading style in this document. So look at here, like different sections as manuscript does. So I suggest you using this kind of styling here, because it will save up some time, and it will also index your paper with the other softwares can understand. For example, like PDF readers can understand like different sections and different headings. So I will show you this part, how we're gonna do this. So I deleted everything, and I'm gonna write some like, let's assume that this is heading 1, and it's kind of like introduction part, for example, in the paper. So regularly, lots of people, what does, like make them bold, and this is kind of like seen as a heading, but this is not the way you should do. So you may see like this is highlighted here because you make them bold, because Google Docs is smart enough to understand like this is different styling. But I suggest you to use like these options here. So you will see like different title, subtitle, and different headings options for 6 levels. And also you will see normal text, which is being used for paragraph styling. So if you want to do this like introduction and write something here, please use heading 1 so that you will be have this option here. So if you want to try and then build the other sections of this paper, like methods, results, discussion, conclusion, references, so that would be great. So if you want to then like apply different styles to headings, so if you were doing this as like manual method, like make them bold and everything, you would have to select everything again and again and apply the same style. But now what we are going to do is to change one of the heading 1 style. Like for example, I want this now Times New Roman, and I want it bold, and I want it like 12 points. So here's, you apply the styling to heading 1, and what you're going to do to go here and then update heading 1 to match this current style that you are here, and it's going to update everything in the document. This is kind of like when you are working on like thesis or like long documents with the different subheadings, it's kind of useful to change every style in the document in one place. But if you were doing this like with the manual process, you have to select everything and apply the same styling over and over again. So this is kind of like a time-consuming job when you're dealing with this.
Very cool, Yusuf.
And let's move to this citation format then. Yeah. Now we have the introduction part, and we want to write something about, and then what we are going to do regularly is to use maybe manual method, like Google Scholar is giving you the different formatting style, and then you may copy and paste it. But if you are using AMA style with the numbering style, and when you want to change it to like remove like one citation from the first paragraph, you have to change all the numberings consequently, and it's quite time consuming. So what we are going to do is to use Zotero to work on this paper. So you may have different options. So there was a preparation before you were here. So you need to install the Zotero on your computer. So this is the place that you can access. Zotero is a completely free open source software. So you can go to this Zotero.org website and you can create an account and you can download this software to your computer, and you can also install Chrome connector, which you can see here. I have the Chrome connector. So, and I'll also share whole screen with you now, because I'm gonna jump to my Zotero. This is a installed software to my computer. You will be seeing like on the left side, like different folder that I've organized my library, and you will be seeing the papers details here, like the bibliographic information, and on the right side, you will be seeing the detailed information. So from this library, I want to cite something to Google Docs. So what we are doing regularly is to put the comment bubble, and then we will be able to add the citations later on. But now I'm gonna just cite it quickly, and then we will work on this comment bubbles later on. So for example, a collaborator, a co-author in your manuscript just commented here to cite this document here. So what I'm gonna do, access to this article, and you will be seeing all the information about the article. And since you install the Zotero connector, you will just click here to save this file to your Zotero. So
that's in the top right-hand corner, right, Yusuf?
Yeah, top right-hand corner. So when you install the Chrome connector of the Zotero, you will be seeing like different buttons here. So this is the Zotero button. This has been changed based on the web page that you visited, because if it's a paper, if it's a book, this changing the colors and the icons. So you need to figure out like what kind of document you're adding. So when I go back to Zotero, I will be seeing the document here. Look at it, like they added and all the information about the document. And if I want to read the full text, I'll just double click it, and then I'll access the PDF on my Zotero. So this is kind of like, now you can read the document, and you want to cite whatever you want from here, you will just do it. So simulcast is the title, and Simon is the first author in this paper. So what I'm gonna do is to come here and cite the document. So here you will see like the Zotero button here, as well as the Zotero button in the menu on Google Docs, if you have been installed this software. So when I want to add a citation, I'll click add Zotero button. And if you are doing this for the first time, Zotero is gonna ask you what kind of citation style you wanna choose in this document. So if you are using like AMA format, you can use this 11th edition. Or if you wanna do the APA format, you can just select the different APA format you wanna add. So let's stick with the APA format first, and then we will change it to AMA later on. Now we just set it up, the citation style, and now we will be able to search our Zotero library and then cite paper here. So you will see like this is the inline citation here, and then you may continue, or what you can do also, you can go here and create a references heading, and I'm gonna choose the heading 1 here because it's kind of like the first level of heading. And then I'm going to add the bibliography of the cited paper. So when I click here, it's gonna search all the Zotero fields in the document, and then it's gonna create this citation bibliographic information based on the papers that you added to the document.
Yeah, so that's very similar to what other people are saying, that they use Mendeley or EndNote, or I guess there's papers within the Mac kind of world, and so it does a lot of that same functionality, except you can do it on a Google Doc, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And everybody can do that. So if you have the Zotero installed, I want you to do the same steps as we do, as I did. So I want you to insert a citation here, and if you wanna just use and experience this Zotero software.
Yeah,
and
so
ask me questions if you have anything in mind.
So Mary is pointing out that one thing that she's found is that you still often need to kind of manually edit the bibliography at the end to meet the specific journal's needs. And so the nice thing about Zotero, because it's open access, a lot of people have actually added in different styles within different journals. So there's like a Taylor and Francis style for APA that's different from the APA 7th edition. Sometimes you have to search for it. So that's part of it. Some journals have a very unique styling, and so yes, you're right, but most stick with some kind of citation that has been done before. Part of it is actually less so much that you have to edit the citation, but rather you have to edit the Zotero entry. So sometimes, for instance, you'll go to a paper and Zotero thinks it's a web page, so it'll actually cite it as a web page instead of citing it as a paper. And so some of the trouble that you have, Mary, might come from the fact that Zotero is not recognizing the different journal websites as an actual web page. And so what you can do is you can actually edit within the Zotero manager the specific citation that's giving you the heartache. And then that way, when going forward, if you ever cite that paper again, you'll actually find that it's correct the next time. So those are a couple of pro tips that I can think of off the top of my head.
That's an amazing pro tip, because once you unlink the bibliography, I've used Mendeley more than Zotero, but with Mendeley, once you unlink it, if you refresh anything,
yeah,
you lose.
Nothing works, yeah.
Yeah. It's probably better. Like, so Yusuf has pulled up this CSL citation styles, which is the Mendeley one, but you can also do that for Zotero as well. And so what it is that often you have to go to the root source of wherever you imported it and just check that citation once. So sometimes this happens a lot with early online first articles. So I might cite a paper that just came out last week, but it's online first, and then 6 months from now, it'll have been published and I have to update the data. And so what I do is I actually go into either Zotero or Mendeley, whatever I'm using to do the citations. I actually put down that, you know, it's a different year and a different, like the volume and then the an issue, all of that stuff I update. And then that way going forward, I can cite it again.
And there are some like journals providing the CSL style automatically now, like they are just providing a link to import your reference management system and it will apply automatically. And this is called like citation style language, which Mendeley, Zotero, they are just supporting it because it's an open source citation styling. So if you want to search something here, you can search from here. And also you can just like imitate the with the visual editor as well. So if you have a like specific citation styling in the bibliographic part, so you can just view from here, or you can also like come here and then just try to imitate your citation style. This will give you the approximate match to the other kind of citation style. So maybe it's kind of like Vancouver format or Harvard style, like different kinds of styling is gonna be prepared here. So if you wanna try it out, so it's gonna give you the like high level of information how to organize your styling. So this is a good way. And this is not just the Mendeley. You can just have it from here and import it to Zotero as well.
I'm a little slow on this, and so you'll have. So what would be usual for me would be to go to HSL, which is the McMaster library, look up my whatever the source is, and so how do I save from there? Like, if I could you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, for example, we are searching from the health science library, and we are gonna choose, like, for example, PubMed. It will redirect to PubMed, right? So, for example, I am looking for a paper here, like about faculty development, for example, and I've seen like more than 300,000 article here. So here, you will see my button has been changed, because on this page, you will see like 10 articles as an initial search page. And what you can do, you can import all of these files at once.
Okay.
So if you want to choose like all of them, or you want to just choose like exclude some of them, like I choose the 8 of them. And then if I click here, okay, Zotero will do, on the right side, you will see like it's importing the paper information here to my Zotero library. So here you will see all the 8 papers that I just added. Like you can just follow from here, like 8 files just inserted to my document.
Zotero works really well with PubMed. So I actually find that most of the time, if I'm looking for a paper and I want to add it to the add it to my Zotero library, I'll try to find the PubMed link. So like kind of what you're doing with going directly into the library and going through PubMed will actually solve that problem, because a lot of the time I use Google Scholar and I end up on a random publisher website that isn't well indexed, and so Zotero thinks it's a website and it's like this whole thing. But I think that if you go through PubMed, it's pretty good actually. It rips all the metadata out very easily.
Yeah, and sometimes you have the DOI number, and then you may also use the DOI to just import.
Is that the DOI?
DOI, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'll just copy this DOI, and then I'll go to Zotero, and there's a little button here. Yeah. If you just put it like DOI or PMID or different kinds of IDs to here, what it's gonna do on Zotero side, it's gonna search this DOI with the reference, and it's gonna fetch all the information about this DOI, like which articles to present.
And so, how do I get this now into the paper that we are writing?
And then, for example, we just edit these files, and then I'll go back to Google Docs, and then, for example, you write something about this paper and you want to cite something here, and you will just go to Zotero menu and add citation.
Oh, I was going to say, why don't you cite the Sklar one that you just did? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This one. Oh, no, not
the third one. Yeah.
So this is the paper we just added, and then I put it here. Okay. Sometimes, like most of the health journal ask you AMA style, and you need to change the styling. So in this case, you will go to document preferences on your Google Docs, and then choose like different styling option here. When you choose it and then click the different styling, Zotero is gonna update everything in the document, and it's gonna give the number. For example, here, like the first inline citation here, second citation here, and you will also see the update on the reference list as well. And sometimes you wanna remove some documents here, like for example, I wanna remove this part, and then if you refresh it, sometimes ask you to log in with your Google Drive. It's gonna update everything, like this number 2 citation went to 1 now, and then it removed from the reference style as well. So this is basically how to use Zotero on Google Docs.